I was scrolling on TikTok when I saw this design presented on LinkedIn. When I saw this design presented there, and then I reached out to the designer and messaged him if I could use the design for a YouTube video. His name is Ogenemaro. I hope I pronounced it properly. So you can check and connect with him on LinkedIn. So before we start building, out of all of the pages he had, I told him I only did these three. The home page, the contact, and the about us. So he arranged these for me. And now if you check, we have I think 4 colors. The brown, the off-white on the background, this yellowy orangey color. I don't know what this color is. And then the ash colors. So those are the colors. And then the blue, yes. So 4 colors in total. And then the font is just 2 fonts. Poppins and Playfair display. So let's download those 2 fonts. Okay. So this is the Poppins font, and this is for Playfair. And none of them has the one we can use for web. So for websites, they have a font format. So it's not .ttf. You can install this on, okay, you can, but the best format is WOFF. That's the best web format for fonts. So this is how you do the conversion. So go to Transfonter. Transfonter.org. Then you add your font. So let's do for Playfair first. Select all. Open. And then make sure these are both selected. And you go back up and click on convert. You download. Let's do it again. For Poppins. Add font. Font. Poppins. Then you convert. Click on download. Now we'll go back to our folder. We should now have 2 folders here. I extract both of them. So subfolder. This up Playfair. So rename. Poppins. So we have wolf 2 here. Hopefully we have the same here. So we've gotten our font, and we also know the colors we are using. Poppins. So that's done. Let's go to our development environment. So I like working with design systems, and I use Framework together with advanced Figma for my setting up my design system. So let's go to Core Framework. The build, the WordPress environment, I had it imported from a blueprint. So if you check here, you see Bricks Blueprint. That's because I had a blueprint set up where I just, after I set it up, I use it on all my WordPress builds. I don't have to keep repeating what I do for every build. So like plugins I use, things like this. So I don't have to set this up manually every single time. I just come maybe edit a few and start working. So that was what I did. And so you see Framework and WP Codebox already installed. I also have Bricks Forge, Advanced Thema, and Bricks Navigator installed too. Also with ACF. So for the primary color, I think I'll call the primary color. I will say it's this brown. So I'll click on the brown, copy the color, change this to hex, and I'll paste it there. Turn on secondary. For the secondary, I'll say the blue. And this other color, I'll say call it tertiary. Tertiary. Then I'll call this one accent. Accent color. Hex. So change all of this back to HSLA. And then for this, I have tints, transparent variants turned on, shades and tints, 8 of them. This is not supposed to happen. Let me turn this up and turn it back. This is not supposed to happen. What we'll do is copy that color, paste it here. Then we'll delete this one. Pick this one up, call it primary. Now do the shade and things from here. And that's fixed. So turn on the variants. Do the same for the others. So I just like doing 8 of it because with 8, no matter the shins or tints he has of transparent variant, most likely you have it within the 8, and if you don't, we'll create it on the go. So let's save changes. So for the background color, select the background and the color. Thanks. That's the background color. Also do it for BG surface. So why do I have BG body and BG surface? This one is for the body. Then this will be like if cards are going to have the same color. Basically anything that's on top of, like there's a surface on top of the body, that's when I will use this. Yes, it's the same color, but you're having to, just in case in the future they tend to change the BG surface color, you don't break anything. So this is for scalability purposes. Make sure you're getting shades, transparent variants are all turned on. You save. Now you have font color and you have font inverse. So I'll say this is font color, text color. I'll say text body, text title. Let's do text title first. Text title, text. Then I also do text title inverse. So duplicate this, the text title reverse. So the reverse is this. So wherever it's dark, that's where you use the reverse. That color is then you do the same for text body reverse. So this will be text body. And you duplicate text body reverse. You paste it. So for text, we only having shades, no tint, no transparent variants. If need be, you can come and check it here. So the next one, all of this is the same. Typography, I'll leave this. So for my typography skills, for the main font, I'm using major second. For the mark scale, I'm using major third. For spacing, I'm using main scale, major third, mark scale, major third also. Components, I disable this. Layouts, I disable this. Design, just have this for rounded corners, radius. Then shadow variables. Font, I install my font directly from the builder. And everything else is turned off. Once you are good, say save. After save, you click on preview CSS. Then you want to copy everything from here like this. Copy. Once you've copied, click on that. Once you've selected, sorry, you Control C to copy. Then you go to your builder. So let's go to. So this is done with Bricks Navigator. This is a free plugin, so you can get it on the plugin store. I'll go to Figures, then boom. So this was part of the blueprint where I had site under construction and this section set up like this. So let's go to manage theme styles. Then condition, make sure it is set to your entire website. For you, you might have nothing here, so you just create. Then general, site background, by click, and then right click. So right click, I don't want this for core framework to show. I would prefer that of advanced teamer, and I'll show you why. So let me go back. I'll go to bricks. I'll turn this off, and I'll turn this off, and I'll save changes. Refresh and make sure changes are saved. Yes, changes are saved. Now refresh. So when I refresh, I go back to theme styles, then general, and right click. This is why I prepare um, advanced themes because of how it um, it looks, and I can search basically because I can search. That's just mostly it. So I can say body, can say text. That's why I prefer that of advanced theme. Let me see grid view. That's why I prefer that of advanced theme. Then the reason I said we should copy the CSS was because of this. So if you click and you right click, you see your primary still has the former color, but then it's showing your correct color. That's why I said you should copy, so that will fix it. So you go to variable manager, you scroll down. You know what? Stop scrolling down. Let's just do this. Scrolling down is too far. Select all primary. Select all primary. Because it's only primary will make changes to adjust it. Then delete. Really delete one. Primary. Yes. Let me see if that will work. Go back to our framework. Select primary. And drag it into to delete. Then delete category. So okay, that worked. Now let's create new category. Or let's just scroll down. Scroll down, 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 down. Then add a new global variable. sorry, import CSS, skip the values so that it just brings the name and then use the values that was already created by Pop Framework. So you paste CSS you copied. So since nothing was changed aside from the colors, I'll just delete everything from after send. I'll come from here, delete everything else. So we just have only the colors, and we say okay. So delete this, import variables. Now it has imported colors. You can later arrange or won't be arranging it in this video. You can create new categories and arrange it. So once you do that, you are supposed to save. Set database. Did you save? Okay, I think it did because this is now 293. Let's check. So click and search primary. It's showing that. I should color manager. Okay. So to fix this showing the actual colors we're using, let's create a new palette. But before then, yes, let's create a new palette, add new palette. Fix color. Viewer. Then this time around, we're not going to turn it off. We'll leave it on. Then import colors. So once you do that, if you go back to my palette, I don't know, but for some reason it just fixes it. So leave it at that. Make this the default. And then you now come back here. Then we do this. Now you see it's also fixed here. So now we fix our colors. Let's go back to the theme styles. So colors, primary color is set. General. Side background. So what to do is it's expanded by default. To always be open. Search for BG body. Then over. That'll be our side background color. Typography. Text body. Yes. Then by default. Then font size. We'll search for font. Font size body. Then headings. Title. Yes, by default. So whatever color you're picking, you pick from my palette because that's the one you're using. And it's already set to heading 2XL. The next one is elements. I want to create spacing for padding spacing. For this, we'll just say 20px. Then for the height, sorry, not height, say 5XL. So how do we see that? Let's add a new section. Click on section. Now you see the space up and down, left and right. So the reason why we use 20px for this is because we want it to always be 20px down to the bottom. But then to the smallest viewport, not bottom, sorry. But for the height, the padding top and bottom, we want it to be relative to the breakpoint. So you see here, it's quite bigger here, but when it gets here, it's reduced a bit. That was why we did it so. So now we are all set. We can then delete and start building. So for recap, we came to, first of all, came to core frameworks, set up our design system here, then came to bricks, and made sure the design system was also on the theme style. Had some issues with color not showing as it should, not updating. Fix that. And now we start building. So how we are going to build, we build the footer and header last because we're going to use templating system. The reason is because you have the footer and header on all the pages. You don't want to build it or copy and paste every single time. You want to just build one place and it reflects on everywhere. So that's how we'll be doing that last and with the templating system. So let's install our font. I forgot we didn't install that. Let's go to font manager. What I like installing my fonts is, you see, I name primary and secondary. This is because so that in case, let's say, I have all my headings having Roboto, and then all my headings, and later the brand says, okay, their new heading font should be Proxima or Inter or something else. I'll just come here, click on edit, and then only change the fonts without changing the name, and it will affect everywhere where the name is primary. And if I have more than 2 fonts or more than one font, I do primary, secondary, and tertiary. That's what I do for font management. You can see the font here is using outfit. I'll just delete everything here. No, instead of that, I'll just import. When I import, everything will be deleted. I'll click on import. So I'll click on select fast to import. Go to the folder where I have fonts. Then I'll click on type. So that it just arranges them by type. Come here. Select all the, click on open. And you see to delete all what was there and put the new one. Now we then map it according to the type. So this is black. Click on select black. This is black italic. Just go change this to italic. This is why if you change it to black, the font edition with this weight already exists this way. Change this to italic and then to now work bold. And then you save. Go back. Now you can start building. Go back to theme styles, typography. Make sure your body font is using secondary and font weight is normal, which is 400. And your heading is using primary and font weight 700. That's for the default. Right, so Once you're done, you click on save. And now we can start building. So I downloaded this image, and that's the one you see here. The image. There it is. So we have heading, text, 2 buttons, background image. There's the background image. So these are the section. For the section, would add heading, rich text to a block. So we say, let's add some shortcuts here. Block. SVG. So add heading, rich text, and the block. The block will have a button. I'm going to create a button ourselves. I am your this will say shop now. Shop now. The container here is 1170. Since that's how it all goes. So make our container that as before. Let's go to theme styles, elements, container. Copy this to max width. And here we'll say 1170. Yes. So it takes 1170 as it is here. Or we could change this to RAM 117 RAM, 1170px. At this point, we'll just say 100%. And to take 100% of the width going down. Section background image. one thing before do that. So images for web also have formats that works best, and that's WebP. So you go to Squoosh. Is it Squoosh? And then you upload your image there. Change the compression to WebP. Then the size. So if this was more than 1920, it's best to always have it at max 1920, because most times your width doesn't grow more than 1920. But since it's less than 1920, you can turn that off. Then everything is fine. Then download. Click on save. Go back to the builder. We drag it in. So now you see hero image at WebP. You go here, you also see it there. You see the difference in size. You will notice the quality dropping, but then the size was reduced drastically. That's the benefit of WebP. So we say head, head, command, looking left as the alt text. So alt text is when your image doesn't load, those texts are shown. Put it there, then insert. Now I want to do something. I want this to scale. So we don't want it to scale, to just scale according to the container. But let's see, let's make it minimum with 2. Let's make the container layout. Let's change the minimum height. So change the minimum height to 85 dvh. So dvh is dynamic view height. That means it's going to calculate the height of your view width without adding all of this. So it will first of all subtract this as not part of the height, subtract every this your navigation bars, but not part of the height. That's why you have the D there. Or you say VH to calculate just the height of the actual screen, then give it 85. But when you say D means dynamic, it calculates only where your site is being shown. Once you do that, then we go back to content, center this. Background has a background color. For the background color, we'll use dark doesn't have. And let's go to black. Not showing background color. this is supposed to be like an overlay. Supposed, but that's not working. There's supposed to be like an overlay option here. Hmm. Okay. Anyways, it's past 1 hour by my record time. We'll continue in the next 1 hour. So all our reviewed videos will be cut into 1 hour or less than 1 hour or around 1 hour. See you in the next part of the video.